Hi, I'm Ray.
Hi, I'm Katya.
And we're at the Commonwealth Center for Holistic Herbalism right here in Boston, Massachusetts.
And this is Elsie.
Yeah. So today is Lughnasadh. And please forgive my poor pronunciation if you actually speak Gaelic. That's what this day is called if you're Irish or Scottish or monks. Lughnasadh is the midway point between midsummer, or the summer solstice, and Mabon, or the autumnal equinox. And if we want to speak with our astronomical precision, like I always kind of like to do, then that would have happened, that midway point between solstice moment and equinox moment was at 3:04 a.m. today, Elsie Dog, today, on Monday, 7th August, 2017. So some people think we're a little late because a lot of times this is celebrated on August 1st, but we're in fact only however many hours that is late.
Just a couple hours.
16, 15, whatever.
But also, all of these holidays are kind of fluid because they're based on the first fruits. And, in this case, the first fruits in the beginning of the harvest season, and that comes when it comes. It doesn't necessarily come on the exact same day every year.
Or for all of the places in the world where this might be celebrated.
Right, so we're watching for these agricultural markers to help us know when the holiday really is. And so Bilberry actually was one of the sort of heralding markers for Lughnasadh, or for Lammas, it's also called. And here, where we are, on our land, also raspberries are herald. We have some wild blueberries, and mostly the birds get them just a little bit before they're ripe, so we don't really get many of those. But we do have raspberries on the land in Royalston. We even have some growing in the backyard here, and they're just starting to pop up and be ready, so that's really exciting. If you live in the Northwest, you might be seeing blackberries coming ready instead, and you might be noticing there's a theme here with all these berries.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of similarity in their nutritional and medicinal virtues as well. So with our bilberries and our blueberries, the berry itself, a lot of people are familiar with the benefits you get there. They're antioxidant rich in their color compounds, those deep blue compounds with names like anthocyanin and proanthocyanidin, and you can sort of hear cyan right in there. You can hear the name for blue. And so those compounds are really fantastic and have a lot of benefits for us, some of which are on the level of just being antioxidant and reducing levels of systemic inflammation. And sometimes that's happening in the bloodstream. Other times that's happening through like a cascade effect that starts with impacts these have on your gut flora, because it always keeps coming back to the gut flora, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's with the berries.
And the leaves actually are fantastic as well. So bilberry leaf or blueberry leaf, and bilberry, it's really just a blueberry that happened to grow up in England. That's all. So they're really, as long as we're talking about the wild plants, they're really interchangeable. So the leaves of these plants are really helpful for improving insulin sensitivity and helping to reduce blood sugar levels. They're also very lovely astringents, which are handy all through the system, but just recently with braces, I am particularly partial to astringent herbs because they really do help with the whole braces thing going on here, though it is difficult to say astringent.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. You're doing good. So like we said, in those Gaelic cultures, this day or this time of year was talked about as Lughnasadh. In English, or England, this was more often referred to as Lammas, which is a kind of a slurration of loaf mass. And so yeah, this was a pretty bready holiday traditionally, and as fairly strong gluten-free advocates, we have a little hesitancy around all of that wheat harvest stuff. The idea of the wheat harvest, or the first wheat harvest, as being the first fruits of the land, or of your patch of land in that sense.
Okay, not that I wouldn't love a hearty loaf of sourdough to celebrate Lammas.
It's pretty appealing.
Just, it wouldn't be good for my body.
Yeah. Also, there were some things about that are little touchy, like it did include a sort of obligation to give the first cut of your harvest to your landlord. And so, of course, there's like built-in references to the sort of feudal structure there. So a little frowny face on that one.
But there are some cool things here. We do have this term botanically called Lammas growth. And so I like to think of this as the trees sort of getting ready for winter, and just like we are moving into the harvest season, that they too are moving into their harvest season. And we, anytime that we can look at that, it is really useful because we're really not that different. You know, humans walk around and trees stay put, but other than that, there's really a lot of similarities. But so Lammas growth is this time when trees will start to grow new leaves, even though it's like late in the summer, and they may be compensating for damage that was created by insects during the spring and the early summer. Or they may just be growing new leaves.
I was going to say, or hailstorms this year.
Yeah, hailstorms.
Given the crazy weather we've been having.
Or they may just be growing new leaves just so that they can produce more food, which they will store through the winter as sugar down in the roots. So that is so cool. Like, it's not just us going out to harvest. They are too.
Yeah. So some plants that we work with, or some trees we work with as medicine that do this include... let's see, we got sycamore, oak, Scots pine, yew trees, and
hawthorn.
And hawthorn, yeah, who we've talked about a ton already in these holiday videos. The Lammas growth declines as the tree gets older. It's really vigorous in young trees. I feel like we've been seeing some of that in the trees we planted out in Royalston this year, where they're like, I'm not done yet, I'm gonna be fine. We put them in their new home and they bursted out with some new leaf growth right away. And that like vigor of youth kind of association reminds me of some of the other associations that Lughnasadh had as a holiday, including a kind of friendly competition, a sort of like old Gaelic Olympics where people would get together and they would have these athletic contests, and it was all about that sort of vigor of youth thing. So there's a little bit of connection there too.
So whether you're a tree or whether you are a human, or I suppose a chipmunk or a squirrel, this is a season to start your harvests and also to be having that last push of new growth. And if you even if you didn't know any of this, that's what's happening right now anyway.
Yeah.
Even with our lives so centered around office buildings and computers and cubicles and all these things that are the opposite of nature, we still are starting to feel the crush of like, the summer is, we can see back to school coming. The summer is kind of coming to an end, and it's still warm. It's still summer and all that stuff. It's not like it's really fall yet, but we also kind of feel the impending pressure of like, oh, soak it up now because back to school is coming and all that stuff.
Yeah, so push out a couple more leaves, start your harvest, get ready.
Eat lots of blueberries.
Yeah, that's kind of a good idea all the time.
All the time.
And we'll be back again next time for another new holiday. See you later.
Bye-bye.